Practice for students. I'm inviting you to this video or to watch this video as it is meant to prepare you for your teaching practice 4 in 2023. Let me first introduce myself. I'll show my face for a little while and then switch it off, the video off. This is my face. I'm your teaching practice lecturer, Dr. Manyaga. This is my face, for in case we meet somewhere and you are able to recognize me. You must be able to greet me. I'm closing the video to continue with the presentation. The purpose of this presentation is to ensure that you have a knowledge of what is expected of you. You are also able to meet all the requirements, because there are expectations that we have of you, but we have to take you through them so that you can be able to do the right thing and be able to pass. So this module, Teaching Practice Level 4, is for students who are qualifying for the B.Ed Foundation phase, which is grade R to grade 3. And even the modules that your subjects are based on that. What is this video about? I said, this is my picture. You've already seen my face. This is for a few years ago. The video outline, what is it that we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about communication from the lecturer point of view. How's the lecturer going to give you support? Critical administration matters. And then I get deep into orientation of the module itself. And then I'm also going to talk about the 2023 assessments. Listen carefully. We don't call them assessments, but when you get them in hard copies, they're called tutorial letters. I'll explain that as well. And then critical points contributing to positive results. Because we are here to pass, not to fail. We are not here to get negative results, but positive ones. These are my contact details. I'm Dr. Manyaga, as said. My telephone is 012-429-6521. Just use it during school, working hours, which is from 8 to 4 o'clock. But if I don't respond, you must know that maybe I'm in meetings. We're always in meetings. We go to conferences. But an email, definitely I will answer. So those who know me, you know I answer emails diligently. It's imanya@unisa.ac.za. Remember to include your module code. Remember to include your name. And also use my live email to communicate. I will repeat the administrative matters. Ensure that your my live email is active. If it's not, you can go online. You will find a tab that allows you to reactivate your my live email. And use it for all correspondences. If you use a private email, even if you are asking me a question that is not within the module context, I'm not able to refer you further because it's a private email. We don't answer private emails. Materials are accessible online. I mean, those assessments and everything and all the study guides, but you might be sent hard copies this year. Though I say no hard copies, but that's for submission. But you will get access to hard copies, but don't wait. Submission is strictly online, but you can get hard copies that you can use, but you're still going to submit online. You must adhere to due dates. There are no special exemption or special treatments. Why? This is a portfolio-based exam. You are given a chance from as early as now in February up to September. If you get sick in the month of September or something that was not expected happens, we are not going to take it because we had the whole year to do it. But also it's a UNISA assessment policy. There is no special treatment. Once it's closed, it is closed. This is a work integrated learning, meaning that it's a practical module. There's no supplement, there's no accredited. We've got one resubmission per assessment because now we moved from the old system. We are on Moodle. It's still my UNISA, But on that one, you are able to tell me after you've loaded that, oh, ma'am, I checked my portfolio, it was without a register. Please allow me to resubmit. I'll do that. But it can be many times. And it only happens if it's due before the due date. But that means you must work earlier, do your teaching practice earlier as much as you can. Because towards the end, we distribute the portfolios and the assignments to markers. If we have done that, there's no way it can allow us to resubmit. There's no remark for portfolios, and you don't submit on emails. I know I'm saying this, but others are still going to try. That will be ignored and not be marked. Attendance register, I don't know. Attendance register. It must always be attached to the assessment 2, assessment 50 and 51. Each one of them you will see when you load, they have their own portals. Don't come to me and say, I didn't see any necessity because it is my register is in assessment 2. There's no way we can cross-check in assessment 2. So just trust us. We might not be the most intelligent people, but we have experience and we know what the responsibilities are. Once we attach a template of a register, which we changed because before we just said make a copy, so we realized students have got problems. Let's attach it where it is required. Don't rip it off. If you do, it's for your own disadvantage. You won't pass this module because you'll be penalized with 5%. To summarize, use my live email. Always refer to the module code, even assessment, what assessment you are talking about. We are now about to be teachers and you should be doing better. From your first email, I should be able to assist you, not to go back, which module? Then you answer, which assessment? We shouldn't be doing that. Check announcements and activities on the system regularly. Remember, there will never be a situation where you get into the classroom. You'll be, some of you would be quoting my friend from University of So-so, Cape Town or Stellenbosch, they do this, they do that. We are an open distant learning. If you saw my first slide, look at it. We are 150 years old. We've been doing this for years. Before I was born, and I'm here, I'll even take my retirement in a few years to come, it will still stand, but it's an open distance learning. Your only contact with us is to read your materials, is to go online, is to check your My Life email for in case I send something on bulk emails. You go to the Moodle platform. It means you must familiarize yourself with it. When I say schedule a meeting, I'm going to teach on this. Maybe I've given 2 or different days. Get the one that suits you and schedule, and then the link for Microsoft Teams will come to you. Just familiarize yourself with the system. How am I going to support you? We have already posted study materials. That's one way of supporting you. It's on your MyNISA, and also assessments are there. There are going to be discussion forums. I've got already created some of them. I didn't want to create a blog because you are too many, but I'm going to create it. That's for you guys to help each other. It's not where you're going to say, so and so says they got marks without this and this. Don't trust those things. This is a formal platform where if somebody says something that is not agreeable or is not true, I will answer. But other platforms, I don't see them. That's why I want to do those platforms, to make sure that I create some activity shells, even one for query shells. Query shells, I like it because you are also able to answer. Let's say I'm on a conference away. I'll be going to a conference in April for a week. I'll be seeing the forums now and again, but I'm officially on an academic leave. You can be able to answer your friend if you have asked a question about placement and I've answered, and somebody asked as a student, you are able to say to the student, no, ma'am said this. I really loved it last year. People said, look at the answer on this date. The lecturer said this and this and that. We are now a community that support each other. We are a community of learners, of lifelong learning, which our institution stands for. Or there will be Microsoft meetings where you'll be expected to book a slot on a scheduler. As I said, there will be webinars. We'll post TPIV video links. We also send bulk emails. Last year when we got towards the end of the exam, I get anxious as you do, because our job is to make you to be successful to be a teacher, to be able to change the environment where you are, to influence learners with your new strategies, to change the economy of South Africa by being listed as one of the employed people. So I used to send this bulk emails reminding people of registers, due dates, and some of them came back to me with very nice feedback to say that we thank you for your support. Right. Now I'm going to talk about the purpose of the module. This is an opportunity for you to acquaint yourself, to familiarize yourself with the formal teaching. In other words, you've got lesson templates, we're going to prepare, you're going to consult. There's nothing wrong with consulting teachers where you are. They've been in the field long, but you must also mentor them with the new strategies that you learn. We have changed how we teach. If you go and teach how you were taught, you might miss something. We were taught differently, and I could tell you for the whole day, you'll be surprised on how I was taught. But we need to adjust to new ways, and they can only know the new ways when you are there. You are in a practical school situation where you are able to go beyond only doing a lesson plan, preparing a lesson plan. You are able to teach independently. You are able to look at how the school is managed. This is the purpose of the module. You are able to get an opportunity to apply theoretical knowledge from the theory modules that you learned. Hence, this year we are emphasizing that when you are doing level 1 of your B.Ed foundation phase, when you are registered for it, make sure that you do the teaching practice because it is aligned to those modules. 2nd level, 3rd level, and 4th level, etc. So gone are those days that people will just go through the whole modules and then they're saying, I'm going to take the final year to do level 1 to 4. That shows lack of understanding. So we have asked ICT to prepare the system so that it does not allow you to go to the second year without doing first year teaching practice as a prerequisite. It focuses on practical application of various teaching and learning strategies. We have got new strategies. We have got indigenous knowledge. We are able to use what we have within our environment to do some resources and come with strategies to teach through those resources. So this is an opportunity to do that, because you cannot, when you do things on theoretically, they are not as you don't test whether they are working, or you are not as certain as you would be when you tested them practically. I always give an example that if a doctor says, I passed with distinction, but I never operated on anyone, don't worry, I'll take my textbook as I operate you. If I were you, I'll run away as fast as I can. Even if I'm weak, I'll get off the bed and run away. The same thing, this is an opportunity of us preparing you, that when you go to teach, you've already done some preparation. The tutorial letters and assessments, when we refer to tutorial letters, we label tutorial letters on the materials that are going to be posted. Some of them, they are under your official study materials. But when you go to the system, you won't get your assessment marked as a tutorial. It will be marked as assessment 1. Now, let's talk about tutorials. You've got 6 tutorials. The first one is for general information. It's not for submission. You just read, so that when you want to ask about assignment, when you want to ask about auditing of your qualification, something that has to do with the registration, all the information is there in tutorial 101. We're surprised that you are still asking us as lecturers, and some we don't have information, but we do refer, but encourage you to send it to the right person so that you get your response timelessly. You don't waste time with us sending from one department to another. Tutorial 102 has to do with the administration of teaching practice, like teaching practice placements, information, forms. In fact, we are no more working with forms. There's a link where you can be able to load to fill in your DSAR form, etc. It guides you, and there's no due date that we use to us throughout the year. Then now let's talk about assessment. Assessment 1, which will be in tutorial 103 if you get a hard copy, or if you get a hard copy, but otherwise you'll get it as assessment 1 on my UNISA. It is, the purpose of assessment 1 is for admission purposes. This means that you confirm that you are still registered. Not submitting your assessment 1, it means you are not there. The system, when you are ready to load your assessment 2, your assessment 50 and 51 is gonna block you. So make sure that your assessment 1 is submitted for admission purposes. We even divided your year mark. It also gives you 10%. It contributes 10% towards your year mark. Just be careful about the due date. The system has been geared in a way that for it not to be overloaded, it allows certain numbers of submission per day. And remember, the system serves the whole institution, not only ECE, not only College of Education. So when I go there and I want to say 24th May, closing date 12 p.m., if the system has already gotten the limited numbers for that time, it will not allow for me to choose 12 p.m. Why am I saying this? Because you students, some of you came back and said, yeah, I should change it. I should change it to midnight because they know all assignments close at midnight. Things have changed. Do not think like that. Assessment 2, which is tutorial 104, it has it contributes 10% towards year mark, and the closing date it does say 28 September 2022 at 3 p.m. not midnight. After 3 p.m. it will be closed, and you can write as many emails as you want. We tell you now there will not be any change. And also the same applies for summative assessment, which are the portfolios. This is an exam. Don't say, please, I got 5%, I didn't have a register, let me attach so that you mark, or give us any other reason. There's no exam where you have written and you fail and your lecturer says, hey, I see you didn't answer section C. I believe you know it. Can you try it again so that you pass? There's no such an exam. So this one contributes 40% towards the final year mark, while assessment 50 contributes 40% as well. And the closing date is Thursday, the 28th September 2023 at 9 p.m. In summary, your year mark will be made of assignment 1 and 2, and they all contribute 20%. And then your portfolio will make up 80% so that you have 100% of exam. Please do not come back and say, I got 100% for both assignments. Why am I not passing when it comes to portfolios? This work together to give you a mark. Important information to take note of is only online submissions. I repeat, a workbook without a register is 0. It's not because we are malicious. It's because we are protecting the accreditation of this module and also the accreditation of the whole degree. When we get audited and you get 80%, but the person who audits from Department of Higher Education and Training finds that there's no register. The first question would be, how do we know that this student has went to teaching practice? How do we know that they did teaching practice in 2022? Or they just posted some document from a friend? That will put our accreditation at a threat. And the department is not shy to withdraw the accreditation. Can you imagine all what you have done, you've learned from first year and theory become nothing? The register should have authentic signatures, don't do cut and paste. And it must have complete dates. When we talk about the date is a day, a month, and a year. And the stamp must have a date. It's your responsibility to check if all what has been signed by the principal or mentor has all the necessary information. Because you're still at school, you can go back and say, ma'am, may you please correct this? whether it's a principal or mentor, correct this is not correct. I need my work to be authentic. Late submission is 0. Incorrect assignment is 0. I'm still going to have other activities or videos where I'm going to talk about each and every assessment. I will show you how to save in a way that you won't make a mistake to send a salary slip or to send some document that has got nothing to do with the module, because it will give you 5%. Even if you load assessment 50 under assessment 51 or vice versa, it's a fail, because it does not, we cannot mark something that's not taken to the portal, and there's no extension. Just in conclusion, just remember to keep yourself up to date. There's no way me and you are going to meet in a classroom to talk to you, but what we post online, what we write to you, it's like a Bible, it's like a Quran, it's like any religious book where there's something that says do not do this or do this. It's a law. If you associate yourself with that belief, you'll make sure that you follow it. Also in this module and other modules in UNISA, anything that we post online can stand in court, because that's our way of contact with you. I'll close with this quote. I don't know who the author is. The author was not named. Open goes, he who labors diligently need never despair. For all things are accomplished by diligence and labor. Close quote. If you labor and you are diligent, there's no way that at the end of the year, when you're waiting for results, you'll be going into anxiety and this and that, because you'll know that you have labored diligently and you're going to reap the results. Thank you. This is the end of the video. I will post this online as well, the presentation. I'll also post the video, so that now and again you can be able to visit it. And when you visit, make sure you get all the nitty-gritties that I spoke about, and you are able to do well in your module. This being the case, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much, and all the best. I know you'll do well. I trust you, and we are in this together. You are not alone. We are together, and together we're gonna win. Thank you.
Hello.